When did you first want to become a teacher?
Very good question, and it's one I remember very well because I was scared to death of going into teaching. Because I had stage fright. I never pictured myself standing in front of a group of teenagers and teaching. So when I made that decision, it was full of anxiety, full of fear and trembling. I remember walking down the main street in Wheaton, Illinois, where I went to college, and trying to figure out what to major in and what to do with my life. And I just made a very impulsive decision to go for it, to be a teacher, and to pull out all the stops, and major in English, minor in German, and get a teaching certificate at the same time. So it was very impulsive. Looking back on it, it seemed impulsive, but it was a good decision. I'm glad I made it. One of the best things about teaching, this isn't really a question, but one of the best things about teaching is that it gets, for me anyway, it gets better year after year. And I can't say that's true of every profession.
Okay, did someone inspire you to become a teacher, or was it just...
Absolutely. My sophomore English teacher in high school, we called him DBL, his abbreviation is Donald Bruce Lockerbie. He's still alive, still going strong on the lecture circuit. He was such a phenomenal teacher that we used his textbooks that he wrote for companies, publishing companies, for our class. He was also my cross-country coach. So having a coach who was also your teacher was probably, so back to that question. Oh, yeah, so it was primarily that teacher who inspired me, made me work very hard.
When did you start teaching here at BBA?
I started in the middle of the year. It was in February of 1987. There was a teacher here, Richard Harriman, who left in the middle of the year.
Compelled you to become a soccer coach and right?
Well, I was one of those guys who I loved sports with the ball or a puck, whatever. And that's what we always did in the neighborhood. We always played basketball, football, hockey, street hockey. And we played all year long, rain or shine, snow, sleet, hail, we did it all. But unfortunately, like my weight, I was really small, so I didn't even make the weight limit for football. I couldn't play football. We didn't even have soccer. We didn't even know what soccer was in our neighborhoods anyway. And I love baseball and basketball. But because of my size, I was so small. Not that it ever stopped you, but I was so small and slight, skinny. No coach ever would take another look at me. It was like, that guy can't play. So I'd end up doing sports I didn't really enjoy, but I was good at, like wrestling, cross country, track, tennis, stuff like that. But my real heart was in any sport with a ball. And of course, what better sport is there with a ball than soccer? So once I went to college, I played a little bit of college soccer, even though I didn't play it in high school because we didn't have it. And because I wanted to play hockey in college, I didn't think I could do both. So I did hockey instead of soccer. And then wherever I've lived, whether it's North Carolina or Vermont or Louisiana, I've always found places to play soccer, which is one of the great things about the game. Wherever you go in the world, you can find a place to play. And it's a game you can play for most of your life.
Okay, thank you.